You've got your tickets to Battle for Vegas, that huge charity softball game happening Saturday, coming up here in just about 10 minutes.
All right. Court is now in session. It is time for you to be the judge. It is time for Judge Your Friends. This is where we give you a scenario and you try to judge whether or not we have done said scenario. Some of the things, it's like, oh, of course you've done that. But others are not so easy. So you be the judge. We've got a bunch of cards with different scenarios on them. Who's going first this week?
JC.
Yes.
All right.
Let's do a little shuffling. And you've got your card here. Okay. All right, JC, you are the defendant in this in this case. And which scenario do we go with? I think we go with the first scenario. You are being accused, defendant JC, of hooking up in a theater. Are you guilty or are you not guilty? Hooking up in a theater. Guilty or not guilty? Steph, what do you think?
Okay, hooking up. That could be like just kissing, right? Doesn't have to be like, whoa, hey.
I think
Get a
it's
room.
subject to interpretation, however you want to do it. Yeah.
I mean, regardless, even if you are kissing, you're like, get a room. I think that JC is guilty. And I think it could be as innocent as a peck or like, I don't know, but there was no movie watching. And that's why you are guilty. So JC, you are guilty in my eyes
Guilty
of hooking up in a theater.
Oh man, this one is tough because I know that you tend to be a private person when it comes to showing affection and stuff like that. But at the same time, I think that there was a time in your life where you were like, don't care. If I'm going to get me some, I'm going to get me some. I'm going to take the opportunity while I have it. And I see the scenario now. The scenario is 1996. You're taking your date to see Forrest Gump or whatever was big in theaters then.
Independence Day?
Yeah. You do the yawn, stretch, put your arm around them. And then all of a sudden, like, hey. And then you go in for the kiss and you guys end up spending the rest of the movie making out. So I am also going to say guilty on that.
Oh my gosh, the 90s.
All right. So.
And why is it always 1996 to be specific?
Yeah.
It's always that year.
That's, I think, was JC's heyday.
I was still climbing. I don't 99.
know.
99 was the peak.
All right. So, will the defendant please rise, JC?
Oh boy.
You are being accused of hooking up in a theater. Are you guilty or are you not guilty?
The movie was City Slickers 2.
Oh my gosh. Are we in like the early 90s now?
That would have been 90, should have been summer of 94.
Oh
Summer of
my.
94.
Wow.
That's when Forrest Gump came out as well, but we didn't hook up during Forrest Gump. City Slickers 2. I am guilty. 100% guilty.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh my.
Things got, it was my first serious girlfriend. Couldn't keep my hands off her. We're watching City Slickers 2. I wanted something else.
I that would have been perfect for Two Truths and a Lie, because I would never have believed that you actually paid money to go see City Slickers 2.
He didn't pay money for that.
I didn't see
something else.
I didn't see City Slickers 1. She's like, want to see City Slickers 2? I'm like, all right, let's go to the movies.
I'm just afraid that I'll be lost, that I won't know what's going on.
What is it, The Legend of Curly or something like that?
I don't even know.
Guilty.
All right. Guilty on that account. All right, Steph, you are up next. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay, let's get you a card here. Oh man. One of them I think is like kind of gross. The other one I feel is like kind of inappropriate.
Inappropriate.
All right.
Oh God.
Will the defendant please rise?
I feel like we're gonna regret this.
I mean, I don't think it's as bad as you think, but I
Okay.
just don't want it to get awkward here. Okay. So Steph, you are being accused of taking a selfie on the way to a funeral. Taking a selfie on the way to a funeral. Are you guilty or are you not guilty? Now, the reason I say this is awkward is I know that your beloved grandparents have passed away in the past few years. And so I don't want to like make light of that situation at all, because that was an emotional time. But do I think on the way to the funeral, maybe you're like, man, my hair looks good, my makeup looks good, and I should take a picture. And that's where I'm torn. Because I don't think that you would pass up a good look for a nice photo, but at the same time, you're sad. You lost your beloved grandfather, your beloved grandmother. I don't want to make light of that. With that being said, I think it may have taken a selfie on the way to a funeral. I know you spoke at one of them. I'm sure you looked fantastic, and you're like, I just want to take a picture really quick. I don't think it was meant in a disrespectful way, but I'm going to say guilty. I think you have taken a selfie on the way to a funeral. JC?
Steph is respects her elders, very respectable person. She's sad. She's going to see her grandparents. Have you been to any other funerals besides your grandparents in the past 5-6 years?
Well, both of my grandma on both sides passed, and grandfather in the matter of like 3 years.
Oh man!
Oh, and my uncle.
Your uncle too.
Jesus, yeah.
Jesus.
Mary and Joseph.
They're with them right,
They're with them
right now. Jesus is watching us right now. What's your answer, Steph? I'm gonna say guilty as well. Guilty as well. But did she do it with like the casket in the background?
No.
Like,
Like in the car on the way.
Like a nice memory. She's there. She's the first one there. She's got
Open casket. You're like,
Smile, not I.
What's up, Gramps? Looking good.
No.
I'm gonna say guilty. I'm gonna say she did it at the funeral home. Whether or not the casket was in the background. The one you were speaking at, you got there. Lighting is nice, the nice lighting inside a funeral home. And so, yeah, definitely 100% guilty. Guilty.
Okay.
Well, first of all, the lighting is terrible inside a funeral home.
They want the body to look good. They put the lights on the body. It looks really good.
All right. Now is the time to get the big reveal. Steph, you are being accused of taking a selfie on the way to a funeral. Are you guilty or are you not guilty?
I'm thinking about the 4 funerals I've been in the past 4 years, and I can't think of a time that I even took a selfie after the fact. I am not guilty of taking a selfie.
Let me see your phone. Let me see your phone.
Yeah, you can take my phone. You can go through the photos. No, never have I ever. I think I was just too busy or, just in mourning to take a selfie. I did take pictures with family. I think I took a solo photo with my grandma in her ashes. But it wasn't me holding up the phone like, hey, what's up, peace sign?
You do somber
Someone
selfie.
else was taking it.
Someone else was taking
Okay,
the
that's
yes.
definitely not a selfie. So
Exactly.
Dang,
don't you feel guilty now, JC, like for accusing her of that?
Well, I want James to go through her phone tonight and double check. So, James, if you're listening, you know the dates of the funerals. Take a look through her phone.
Go ahead, do it.
All right, so we got a not guilty there. And last but not least, it is my turn. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, the other one that we were deciding between was the defendant was being accused of dropping a deuce in an inappropriate place. So that was the other one we had. All right.
I kind of wish it was that way.
Outside a funeral parlor.
Let's see.
At the funeral parlor. Before I speak.
She got nervous. Oh, no, what do I do?
The second one, you guys will know the answer to, so I'm going to go with the first scenario on this one. Mercedes, you are being accused of being drunk in front of a cop. Have you been drunk in front of a cop? Guilty or not guilty? JC, what say you?
Well, Mercedes, I've known you for a long time. I know for a fact you've been guilty in front of a cop on this show before. This was like we did a thing. It was like right before Memorial Day or something where we had you drink beer on air to show everyone how after one beer you are technically drunk. And so you had a couple beers. I remember doing the breathalyzer with you, and the cop was there, and you were legally drunk. Matt drove you home that day. I remember that. And I know you're also very friendly with a bunch of police officers here in Las Vegas. And I'm sure you've gone out to dinner with them, and maybe you weren't the one driving, but had a couple glasses of wine. And yes, 100%, multiple times Mercedes has been drunk in front of police officers.
Multiple times. Oh my
multiple
goodness.
times.
All right. Okay. Steph, what do you think?
You're for sure guilty. I know that you have a cop that's a friend. You guys have done like birthday outings and dinners. I see some pictures and some selfies. You guys look extra happy. So I am going to say you are guilty on this one for sure.
Oh man. I'm not gonna waste anyone's time. Guilty. Like,
Yes,
seriously. Yeah, some of my closest friends work with the police department, and this was all they're off duty, we're off duty, we have a designated driver, and I definitely had a couple of drinks, and we had a nice time. So
Extra happy selfies.
yes, exactly. I know the selfies you're talking about. The one where my eyes are like halfway closed, like yeah, those were the times. Absolutely.
Well, there you go. Judge your friends. It's Mix 94.